Hello, workmates. Welcome to Work and Talk in PH, your go to podcast for lifestyle insights, career convos, and real estate realness, where chill convos meet real life lessons because hashtag it works.
I'm Alexa, and our guest today is a trailblazer in education and workforce development. She's the campus director of the LITSI, which is the Negros Occidental Language and Information Technology Center, and her work has helped thousands of Negrenses take steps toward brighter futures. Please welcome Dr. Cristina Orbecido, or as many call her, Dr. Tina. Hi, Doc. Welcome.
Hello, Alexa.
Let's start from the beginning. For our listeners who may be hearing about Naliti for the first time, can you walk us through how it all began and what problem was it trying to solve when it was first created?
Yeah, it was way back in 2006. The former governor, the late Governor Joseph Marañon, started a task force where the the problem during that time is the language, speaking in English. So the task force was purposely created to address this problem in public schools. Then after that, 2 years after, he decided to create the Negros Occidental Language and IT Center. And to date, it has evolved not just a language school, but it has now addressed the needs or the human resource requirements of the IT BPO sector.
Oh, that's why it's called Language and IT Center because it was
Yes.
first language.
Yeah.
And then, what made you guys decide to expand into the IT?
Well, as we started our operation, what we do actually is really to check out the trends and also the industry.
Mhm.
So that's really how we address the human resource requirements of the sector, which is a growing industry in our province. So every time that there's a new requirement in terms of human resource, that's how we create our programs.
Also, you basically adopt to the new requirements.
Yeah, so when we started Knowledge C, it was just purely English, right? So it's
Yeah.
in the com skills of the students. And then after that, as we evolved, we tried to offer animation, medical transcription during that time, software development training, graphics design, and now we started the micro credentials, still aligned with the needs of the IT sector.
Okay, we'll get back to that one later. But how about your own journey po? What brought you into public education and training?
Oh, I started as a media practitioner for 10 years. And after that, I moved to government service. So when I moved to government service, I was assigned as a speechwriter at the governor's office and at the media center. So during that time, I was tasked to lead the task force English. So that's the beginning of my journey. Ever since the before Knowledge was born, I was already there.
Oh, so
So
language po talaga before
yeah,
the first.
so that's my journey from being a media practitioner to government service. And until now, I'm still working here in the government.
So one thing that stands out about Nolitsi is how deeply rooted it is in countryside development. Why do you think training and talent development are so critical when it comes to poverty reduction?
Well, it's very important. It's a number one factor because if you look at talent, no locator will opt to invest in a province without the talent. So I believe that our government is really looking at the needs of the industry because there are four requirements, right? So number one is talent. Another thing is the ease of doing business. So the ease of doing business is already here in our province. So when our
Mm.
province saw that there's a huge need for human resource in the IT BPM sector, that was the time that our governor realized that this is an opportunity for our province. So that's basically the reason why they invested a lot of money in human resource development.
Oh, that's so interesting because I did some research also on like Bacolod and everything. And then parang it's true nga like all the infrastructure is getting built there and it's really just the talent that's kulang na lang for those infrastructures or for development talaga.
Yeah. And one thing that we have observed, if we invest in talent, there's going to be a lot of interest from
Mm.
not just from the IT, BPM sectors, but also from other sectors. Because if you can see the landscape in Bacolod, in Negros Occidental, is really changing because of the investment in talent. So when you have talent, there's a lot of growth, and not just the growth in the economy, but also the growth in the overall community in the province as a whole.
Oh, that's so interesting. You guys aren't just helping the province grow, you're also helping like these Filipinos in their own personal lives by bringing out their talents also.
What's so unique about the program of the province is that it's not just investing money in training, but also in changing the lives of
Mm,
young
yeah.
professionals. So each professional, or each young negrense is being trained to hone their skills to be adept to the needs of the industry. So when they're already working in the industry, it's going to be life changing. So I was telling Marie Chris that the impact is not just the work, but when you change lives, when you help people, that's already empowerment.
Mhm.
When you have one kid in a family working, they will have food in the table,
Yeah.
they will be able to help their siblings, they're going to be self-fulfilled. So that's how the program has a huge impact, not only in the economy, but also more importantly in the lives of every Negrense.
Oh, with this, I would also like to highlight the inclusivity of Nalitsi. So I've heard that you guys have a strong focus on this. Can you tell us how the center supports people from different walks of life, especially those with disabilities and come from unprivileged backgrounds? Po?
So we're a technical vocational school, and our priority are those who are unemployed and also those coming from the marginalized sectors and the PWDs, or persons deprived of physical abilities. So before, we are catering to only a few PWDs. But when we started to collaborate with Concentrics, they wanted to push further for inclusion. So that was the time that I met the president of the Deaf Mute Association. So we started to collaborate, and we started to include the deaf in our programs. So we had
Mm.
4 deaf who were certified for visual graphic design. And the learning curve for us in this endeavor for inclusion is that we also need to adapt to their needs. So what we
Mm.
did is we trained our staff into sign language. So that's how the learning process for us was made possible because of our engagement with the deaf. So you see, it's not just us learning, it's not just them learning, but it's always a two-way process.
Mm, that's also super interesting because from starting from language nga, and now you guys are also adopting sign language now.
Yes.
So I've actually also seen your presentation in Bacolod, and it was actually super inspiring to hear the stories of those of those you helped through the program in Litsi. So moving on naman po. Technology changes so fast these days. How do you keep your programs updated and relevant, especially with the demands of the IT, BPM, and tech industries?
Aside from our engagement with the IT industry, we also have a strong collaboration with the council, the ICT council. And with the ICT council, we learn from them the trends, and also we really calibrate our curriculum with the standards of the industry. And part of that is the training, calibration of our teachers, our trainers. And
Mm.
also, if, for example, there's a huge requirement for this industry, so what we do is we look for trainers who are qualified, industry calibrated, and then we start the program.
Oh, so you also offer a wide range of courses, from contact center services to Python programming. How do you decide which new programs to roll out?
As what I've said, we always collaborate with the industry.
Mm.
So if there's a need for
Oh.
these people, then we start our training. What's important in this endeavor is that we need to collaborate with the industry because we have to ensure that there's work for them after the training. So if there's no need for workers, like say, for example, no more need for contact center services or CSRs. So we need to evolve, change the program into a higher level that is in demand in the industry. So yun po yung
Oh,
cycle niya.
parang that's correct nga po kasi the industry knows what they need po. They themselves, since sa kanila din ang pupunta yung workers.
Yes, just like in micro-credential. We started learning micro-credential because it was introduced to us. And we saw the need that, oh, it's also interesting. So we started and we looked for a partner for micro-credential, and then we started doing micro-credential. So it's just like always seeing to it that all the courses are relevant and responsive to the industry.
For those who don't know what micro-credential is, can you give like a bit of a background po on what it is?
Micro-credential courses are stackable courses. So for example, you have these contact center services. So there's 4 core competencies. So in the micro-credential, you only get 1 competency. So what's good about this training is that when you have 1, you can enroll and then get the 3. So meaning stackable lang siya. So like for example, in AutoCAD, we have our Pioneer AutoCAD micro-credential. So in AutoCAD micro-credential, as per consultation with our industry, it's just a drawing. That's very important. So in the CAD NC3, there's a lot of core competencies. So we only focus to 1 because this one core competency is in demand with our industry partner. So yan yung ano niya, yung micro-credential course.
So 1 core competency for...
Yes, and it's shorter. So for example, in the whole course, let's say it's good for 50 days. So in the micro-credential, you just have to get 1 competency and then finish it in a matter of 1 week or 2 weeks.
So basically, that's the advantage of it then po also. Like how...
Yes. So this is also the campaign of VICT and TESDA because they know that when the training is longer, syempre yung mga students, also there are those who cannot afford to finish the whole qualification. So if you offer micro-credential and then you look at just 1 core competency and it will already work in the workplace, then go for it. Then you can have 1 core competency and apply for work.
Oh, okay. So since you've mentioned TESDA, do you guys work with TESDA closely in the Let's See?
We are a very active partner of TESDA and also DICT because we're registered with TESDA. We also have programs in collaboration with the ICT. So lahat ng programs in Knowledge C are registered with TESDA.
Oh, okay. So moving on, let's talk about digital inclusion and gender responsive training. These are big words, but they mean a lot. Why are those 2 elements central to what you do in the Let's See?
Gender responsiveness and gender development is really part of our program because our source of fund is the GOD Fund for our scholarship. So embedded in our programs are gender-related topics and also gender responsiveness and gender. We're promoting for a gender fair society. So in our school, even if you're an LGBT or even if you prefer not to name your gender, we are open. So our school is very open. So we wanted to have a safe space for everyone, especially for those who wanted to avail of our programs and services. Digital education or digital inclusion is another campaign of Knowledge C because we wanted to reach out to all sectors through our programs and services. So we're not just having programs for exclusively for our students. We also reach out to other sectors, like for example, NGOs, people's organization. We do digital literacy. We do these programs in partnership with the persons with disability, with the PNP. So we are looking at all sectors in this campaign.
Okay, that's interesting. And looking back at your time as a campus director, what's the most difficult challenge you faced?
I think the most challenging area is when you have this program and only a few can have the skills with a very limited time. And you will see the frustration of those students who after completing the program and yet they're not yet ready in the workplace. That's very challenging. So what we do is we always sit down, look at the areas where we can improve, and also consult with the industry partner. Because it's very frustrating if you see someone who didn't get a job offer after the training, this
Oh
is the
yeah.
only hope that they have. And when they didn't met the requirement of the industry, so you also feel bad about it. So to me, that's very challenging. And another challenge also is our facility before, because it's
Mm.
very small. So we can only offer a few slots for students. So now we have a bigger campus and we can accommodate many students.
That's so nice that you guys constantly evaluate your program and decide which one is working and it's not. And on the other hand, what's been the most rewarding for you naman po?
The most rewarding to
Mhm.
me is seeing people differently after being employed. So
Mm.
these are the things that you will see how impactful is the program, and you will see that you I can always compare one student after being trained and then getting certified and apply in the workplace, and after a year you will see them that they have changed, that they can afford to buy a cell phone,
Mhm.
they can invest in anything, they can buy food that they wanted.
Yeah.
Buying a meal in Jollibee will really matter to a person who have not really tried a chicken joy. So you will see the change in the lives of these people will really inspire you. So that inspires me.
I feel like that's such a fulfilling job that you have, like making an impact on the lives of these people po.
Yeah.
So, some advice naman po, if someone from an LGU or another province wanted to start something like Naliti, what advice would you give them?
They can always replicate the programs of Knowledge C. They start with building a facility like ours, and also invest in talent, because this is very um, empowering and transformative. The power of saving one soul instead of just giving them doll out, you know what I mean? Instead of just providing them with monthly support,
Yeah,
you can invest your
their talent.
government fund in the right lives, in the right people, and then you'll be surprised. If you're a public official, you'll be surprised with the impact. Changing the lives of these people, you don't have to beg for them in the coming election, because you have already made a difference in their lives. So I believe that this is also the reason why our government is really supporting this program, because this is not dole out. This is something that it's worth doing, and this is life changing.
I think that's such a great point that investing in these people and it will also return to the economy also. Investing in these talents since they're gonna start having jobs. So it's
Yes,
for the growth of the whole community din po
yes.
talaga that one.
Because you will see that the real impact is when you see that there's growth in local revenues, when you see people spending money instead
Mhm.
of being unemployed and going to your house begging for money every month
Mhm.
because you have to support them if you're a
Yeah.
politician. So if you invest in the right programs like this, you will really see the difference, not just in the lives of people, but also in the community, to transform the landscape. Because as people gain work, as they have money, as they earn every day, and as their position goes higher, their lifestyle is also changing. And there will be a lot of real estate requirements. So these are the things that you call this ripple effect in the community.
Mm.
So if there's employment, there's spending, there's growth. And aside from that, it will change the community, it will change the landscape, it will change the culture, and it will change everything.
That's such a good way to invest in people instead of just giving them cash subsidies for so and to yung Filipinos tuning in, especially those who feel stuck or who think they need to leave home just to find success, what would you say to them?
I would like to inspire them that they look at vocational training as an opportunity, because I wanted to campaign and erase the stigma that vocational training is nothing. Go for vocational training, get your credentials, because I believe that technical vocational training is the need now. You don't
Mhm.
have to have your diploma to get a job. You don't have to have a diploma to be an entrepreneur. Focus on your strength, focus on your niche, be trained in a short term, and be prepared and follow your dreams.
And then finally, what's next for Nolitsi? Any exciting programs or partnerships coming out that we should watch for?
We are going international.
Oh, wow,
Signed
really?
up an agreement with an Australian partner, and we will be offering international programs. I'm having goosebumps. Yeah. So from local,
Amazing.
we will go international. We will be offering international trainings.
So, international trainings for Filipinos.
For Filipinos who want to have international credentials,
Hmm.
international qualifications, and those who would want to work abroad or start a business or work here in the Philippines. So we'll be focusing on healthcare and hospitality.
Oh, that's such a great opportunity for the Filipinos. Wow, international na.
Yeah. So that's our direction. And
Okay, so
moving forward, we can also have other collaborations with other countries so
with
that we can
international.
offer trainings that will also match the standards of the international market.
So, what an inspiring conversation, Dr. Tina. Thank you so much for the work you do and reminding us that real change starts at the community level with training, with care, and with hope. And to our listeners, whether you're in the city or the countryside, never underestimate what's possible when we invest in people. So, thank you so much, Dr. Tina, for joining us
Thank you as
today.
well. Thank you for this opportunity.
It was so nice to hear from you po. Again, I'm Alexa, and this is Work and Talk on PH, your go-to podcast for lifestyle insights, career convos, and real estate realness. Where chill convos meet real life lessons because hashtag it works.